I'm still free. You can't take the sky from me.
Hello friends, I'm the Dyslexic Cosplayer, and it's time we take a look at StarCraft 2, Wings of Liberty. You're probably wondering why it's been so long since our last upload. Well, I ended up getting a new gaming PC, so I wanted to do most of my footage through that, and that took a bit. And then the Warcraft 3 Remastered came out, and that kind of broke my soul for a bit, but at this point I would rather talk about a game I actually really like that's generally pretty good, provided Activision Blizzard doesn't find some weird way to monetize it. Hey, what are these co-op campaigns? Looks like they're minor gameplay tweaks and playstyle changes. And ya fucked it up, Activision Blizzard. Ya monetized it. Basically nothing, and it's $5 for each of the commanders. And fun fact, if you want to buy all of the commanders, that's $225 on top of a $60 game, which is part of a 3-game trilogy. So that is $405 you're trying to milk from people. Look, friends, I'm not trying to just complain about all of Blizzard's games and how they've made them worse. But I feel like if I don't mention them, we're all gonna start forgetting that this is not normal. At any rate, let's talk about the single-player campaign, which is still epic, and there's not much they can really do to mess that up. Yet. So anyway, back to the game. The thing that we got left by Zeratul is an Ehan crystal, which I'm going to be calling a mind crystal from here on out because that's basically what it is. It's a way for you to experience someone else's memories for yourself. And yeah, it looks like Zeratul's got some winners for us.
Friend Raynor, I have warned you of a darkness that lurks at the edge of the future. In my arrogance, I thought to try and find it. And, well, I don't have a mouth, but I bit off more than I can chew, let's just say.
In an absolutely stunning pre-rendered cutscene, something that we didn't get with hardly any of the new Warcraft 3 Reforged game, but anyway, we learned that the Zerg and the Protoss were both created by a super powerful ancient alien race called the Xel'Naga. Now, why they would create the opposite's mortal enemy is not entirely clear. But it turns out that Zeratul's not the only one on this planet. There's a bunch of Zerg as well as the Queen of Blades. We get to see that there's a pretty good power disparity between her and most other beings in the universe because of her strong psychic powers. And even if you are able to hurt her, it doesn't seem to do much to put her down. But Zeratul manages to make good his escape, even though the Queen of Blades is now hunting him. Which in theory should prove quite challenging since Zeratul is the first cloak unit we've gotten to play with in the game. Undetectable unless you have the right kind of unit that specializes in finding him. As well as having some other cool teleporting powers and the ability to put stuff in a timeout bubble. Get it? Because it's a chronosphere? Never mind. As we explore more, we end up discovering some Xel'Naga temples, shrine things that have fragments of a prophecy of the future upon them. It would seem this is what Kerrigan's looking for. Along the way, we end up discovering some other Protoss that are also investigating these weird prophecies, and actually lend them a hand against some of Kerrigan's forces. As is the way of most prophecies, it's pretty vague except for some foreboding warning of a destroyer coming to end the cycle of the gods. However, that is when Kerrigan has decided she has had absolutely enough of our shenanigans and decides to kill all of us.
Alright, so we're just going to generally meander in this way.
Yes, run! Run for your lives! Who put these rocks in the way? This was a terrible plan! Keep running! Just run for your lives! Get to the ship! Get to the ship! And that pretty much rounds out the first vision that we get from the Mind Crystal. Jim, are you okay? You don't look so good. Doc, given the week I've had, watching my friend running for his life inside of a Mind Crystal isn't really the worst thing that I could be watching. Why did he want to show you that? Was there some particular reason? I don't know, but he was scared enough it has to be important. I think I need a drink. Just be careful. The New York Journal of Medicine says interacting with psychic crystals while inebriated can be quite dangerous. I'll take that under advisement, Doc. And now an ad from our Dominion overlords. rendered in loving detail by Blizzard's art department.
Level 800, Elite Tauren Chieftain is back with a new album, pulse-pounding rock that will shake the galaxy. Rock out with such hits as Rogues Do It From Behind, Terran Up the Night, Another Hydralisk Bites the Dust, Saturday Night's Alright for Nuking, Lucy in the Sky with Mutus, Every Rose Has Its Thor, Touring in Your Galaxy, no! Rock and roll!
Alright, Zeratul, let's see what else you want to show me.
So, after all of that, I went to consult some sages on a distant planet that might have a clue of what the visions I had received would tell me. And yeah, I don't have a butt cheeks, but I would recommend you clench yours. It's about to get real weird.
So it's here we get a little bit of experience with playing as the Protoss. One thing that makes the Protoss kind of cool is all of their buildings derive power from these things called pylons. They're basically warped into reality using space, science, magic, weirdness, whatever. And this is where the obvious meme of "you must construct additional pylons" came from in the first place. So we also find out a group of those crazy Tal'Darim people are on this planet holding the sages hostage and serving some new dark master. So that's something we're going to have to deal with sooner than later. And that's when we find out what exactly it is. This is the Abomination. It's a fusion of Zerg and Protoss DNA, for granting it incredible physical resiliency and immense psionic powers. Yeah, generally all around, that's kind of a Cthulhu-esque nightmare. And its incredible psychic powers definitely make things challenging, but eventually we're able to destroy it and the various sages it's been drawing energy from to help empower itself. Alright, Zeratul, let's take a look inside your mind at those memories you've obtained. Yep. The end of the universe is coming at the hands of Amon the Destroyer. The only way to stop him requires you to go back to our homeworld. Have fun!
Mr. Rayner, what seems to be troubling you? Your heart is not in a good way.
You had to have been there to see it, Tosh. A fusion of Zerg and Protoss. Also, something about the universe coming to an end. It was terrifying. I need a drink.
I understand how you feel, Mr. Rayner. At times like these, I consult the spirits.
Now there's an idea.
Oh, hell, Jimmy, I don't want to tell you how to do your business, but how many drinks have you had?
Nah, Tagus, I'm consulting the spirits. And besides, as long as I can count to 12, I still ain't drunk.
Oh, hell, Jimmy, why'd you do it then? Come on, count to 12. I'll wait.
Well, you see, you got your one. You got your... And I got somewhere to be. I'll be back.
I'm sure you will, Jimmy. I'm sure you will.
So, a little bit of history about the homeworld of the Protoss, the planet Ire. Apparently, for thousands of years, the Zerg had no idea where it was, but eventually they did figure it out. So, they decided to deposit the hive mind, the overmind, onto the planet as part of the ultimate Occupy movement. It was ultimately slain by a Protoss who sacrificed himself to basically drop a spaceship onto the giant thing, but the Zerg still have never left, and thus the Protoss live in exile. And according to the sages, that's where Zeratul's gotta go next. Oh, this'll be fun. So we end up finding some old Protoss buildings and get those back up and running. And it turns out that the Protoss were the inspiration for War of the Worlds, apparently. Gotta love those walkers, though. But with their help, we're able to bring Zeratul to 4 brain nerve cluster thingies so he can use his psychic powers to extract information from the Overmind. Apparently, it wanted all of this to happen? And that's when we end up meeting with Tassadar. He was the crazy guy that dropped the spaceship on top of the hive mind. This is his force, ghost, psychic projection thing here to provide us with some exposition. Amon is one of the ancient Protoss gods called the Xel'Naga. It created the hive mind to enslave the Zerg. So the hive mind rebelled and created an entity that was as powerful as it, but separate from the hive mind's control, the Queen of Blades. And apparently, if Zeratul doesn't help the Queen of Blades with her endeavor, it's going to lead to the end of the universe. And for a little added incentive, we get a vision from Tassadar of what happens if Zeratul doesn't work with the Queen of Blades.
Jimmy, are you okay? According to the bartender, thanks to you, we're almost out of alcohol. Is everything alright?
No, worry about it, don't. Everything's fine. We're all gonna die.
I see you talking to the spirits there's been paying off. Just don't overdo it. We need a leader right now.
Leader you need? 12 drunk have I. It's great. Here, ads let's watch. Funny are they?
Nuke Noodles. Call down the flavor.
I'm not your mother, Jim, but I'm starting to get a little worried. Apparently your excessive drinking in combination with that mind crystal is causing the artifact to do some weird things. Bending space-time?
I'm not your mother, Jim, but I'm starting to get a little worried.
See what I mean? Please stop drinking and using the mind crystal. I don't know, dog. Everything seems fine. So in our last vision from Zeratul, we see that the Protoss have been pushed to the literal brink. These are the last of the Protoss anywhere in the universe, and everything else is overwhelmed by the Zerg and Amon's forces. And it's a pretty fun holdout mission, having to fight off waves and waves of Zerg as more and more of your reinforcements teleport in to make a final stand. All the while, those sages try and pull a Mass Effect and try and store all the collective knowledge of the Protoss in an arc to be used later by anything that comes after them. But despite even the best effort of the Protoss for all of their technology, they're eventually crushed under the sheer weight of Amon's Zerg and hybrid forces, who then proceed to absorb all of the Zerg into themselves, thus leaving the universe completely devoid of life except for Amon's hybrids. That's a bit of a downer ending to the franchise, but okay.
See, friend Raynor, your only hope to save the universe is for you to save the Queen of Blades. To save... well, you know. Alright, I'm going to go off and be mysterious now. Bye!
Alright, Jimmy, this is getting ridiculous. According to the bartender, we're out of everything, including the cheap stuff. Now you're drinking vinegar.
Liver I still got. Till that's gone, drink's gone.
Oh, hell, I should have known something was up as soon as you started slurring your words and mixing them up. I'd say something, but I'm basically pickled inside of this armor, so... just do what you gotta do, buddy.
Quick, something to lighten the mood!
Hankering for some down-home cooking out there in the space lanes? Come on down to Bubba's Gas and Grub. We got Twofer Tuesdays, featuring barbecue Muta wings. Also free plasma charge with each fill-up. Bubba's Gas and Grub. Your space trucker home away from home.
That'll do. Next mission. Whew. Who smells like a still? Oh, it's you, sir. Well, Tash has gone to the planet below, and... sir, we're getting a transmission from an unknown source. It's patched through.
Hello, trader. My name is Nova. I work for the Dominion. And I'm here to tell you that Tosh isn't what he seems. He's actually a cold, calculating psychopath.
Excuse me, I resent that. I'm a high-functioning sociopath.
Tell me, trader, haven't you wondered why he's having you get all this stuff for him? It's so he can make an entire army of psychopaths just like him.
You're just mad you couldn't become a Spectre like us. Face it, we're the better versions of you.
Ghosts are tried and true. We're not gonna go completely crazy. Now, trader, you have a choice. You can either help me take down Tosh, or be responsible for thousands of people dying all across the universe.
Don't listen to her, Mr. Raynor. We're on the brink of great success. Trust me.
So it's here we get our first branching choice for the game. Now, they didn't have a lot of these in previous games, and I gotta say, they implemented them well, providing you with special upgrades for your various units and even gameplay changes. So who we choose? Chance you had, trash. Lying piece of tosh.
Whatever you say, Mr. Reyna.
Good to see you've come to your senses, traitor. Now, let's get down to business. Tosh has a number of facilities where he refines the various materials he's been paying you to extract for him. Guarded by some of his psychopathic specters, this won't be easy, but if we can take them out, his operation will be totally destroyed. So let's get to work.
In a contrast to Zeratul gameplay, even though they're both invisible characters, Nova does a pretty good job of making you feel like a precision marksman, taking out each obstacle that blocks your path. And it's probably the closest thing to a StarCraft Ghost game we're ever likely to get, unfortunately.
Hey, maybe I should use those handy mind control powers that I have to take out those innocent bystanders. Yep, totally still the good guys. Always feels good to be on the right side.
Seriously, you use mind control powers to take out my facility? I will have my revenge.
I will have my revenge? You realize that makes you sound like the villain here, right? Not me.
It's not nearly that black or white. It is a series of socio-economic problems that keep us... Did you just blow up another one of my facilities? Stop doing that already! And now you're mind-controlling the Zerg to do your bidding? Will your Dominion monsters never learn from your mistakes?
Well, I can tell you one thing we've learned from our mistakes. Nuke it from orbit. It is literally the only way to be sure.
Later, back on the bridge of the Hyperion...
Ah, Mr. Reyna. I've found a way to get my revenge after all.
Me? Kidding, you got to be.
Cross your heart and hope you die.
Ah, what just happened?
Must have been defective.
Seriously, it's not funny!
Either way, Mr. Reyna, this galaxy's not big enough for the both of us. You better keep looking over your shoulder.
Nah. Over your shoulder, you look should.
What does that even mean? Oh, I get it now. Oh.
Frickin' finally. Thanks for keeping him distracted. It was a lot easier that way. And I guess I owe you one for that, traitor. See you around, cowboys.
And that concludes Operation Ghost of a Chance. But we do get one more good joke at Tychus's expense. And we get an adorable trophy to adorn the walls of the cantina. Good times.
That's what could have happened, folks. But what if instead we went through the door to the Twilight Zone?
I mean, I could go with Nova, but for all that I don't trust Tosh, he's been a loyal ally, so I think we'll side with him. Chance of a ghost don't you have? Now get off comms, you will.
You're just a drunk fool, traitor.
I knew I could trust you, Mr. Reyna. Now, let's get to work. This is the planet New Folsom. Some of my Spectre brothers are being held hostage on this prison world. So, we're going to bust them out. What do you say, Mr. Reyna? You like the sound of an old-fashioned jailbreak? Let's go.
Tosh plays much like Nova, allowing you to take out people like a precision marksman. But his psychic powers... Yeah, I didn't know if you could top mind control, but they managed to do it. With psychic storms to rip people's minds apart, and the ability to absorb energy from others at the cost of their life force. Although, the psychic field is kind of nice to help keep you nice and tanky. So our job as Tosh is to sneak around through the back lines and take down their defenses piece by piece, making it easier. Also to help break out some of the specialist prisoners so that we can get our hands on some fun toys. Especially culminating once we get our hands on some nuclear weapons. And there's only one way to make that even more epic.
Wait, here comes the crescendo.
And And yeah, with that we end up freeing all the prisoners of New Folsom, and the game kind of goes out of its way to really convince you that what we did was the right thing, in case you didn't choose to go with the Nova option.
I'm glad, Mr. Rayner, that you knew she was lying. We're all perfectly stable.
Honestly, it doesn't matter if you were lying or not, Tosh. We just set loose every scientist and political dissident and protester that has ever been arrested by Minsk. We're the good guys for sure.
There's no such thing as good guys or bad guys. All we do is what we must for justice.
Agree with you, I hate to. Time, place, not for us.
Look, Mr. Rayner, I'm glad you're on my side, but seriously, you've got to get a handle on your drinking.
I do also like the reward that you get from this mission is much cooler than the one from Ghost of a Chance. But yeah, that concludes Breakout. And it's probably time we do some more work for Mobius Corp.
Ah, Mr. Rayner, I'm very glad you answered our call. I am Dr. Narud of Mobius Corp, and we are in badly need of your assistance. Karrigan's forces besiege us from all sides as we continue our research on the artifact in your possession.
Oh, and let me guess, you did nothing during the war, huh?
Hate really I do having to deal with that.
So the whole point of this mission is to go around and smash a bunch of computer cores that have information on locations for the Xel'Naga artifact that we've been slowly piecing together. And to give you access to the medevac, which allows you to move your ground troops quickly over all of the various terrain, and it also has a healing function similar to your medics. Honestly, this is the last time you'll ever use it in the campaign.
Kerrigan, after you, Doc, why? She fears the power and the potential of them being used for the great Aryan nation.
So in a dream flashback cinematic thing, we get a little bit of an explanation as to what Kerrigan, Rayner, and Minsk all have in common. Kerrigan used to be Minsk's second in command until he betrayed her on the planet Tarsonis and left her up for dead, while Rayner fought desperately to try and save her. But she was still ultimately captured by the Zerg, at which point she was turned into a human-Zerg hybrid, and Kerrigan became the Queen of Blades. So yeah, that would explain why Rayner hates Minsk and feels responsible for Kerrigan going on to slaughter tons of humans in the future. Seriously, Jim? You're down to drinking rubbing alcohol now? I can't believe you. Monkey off back, get boy. Alright, fine. But you really need to get your stuff together. We need a leader more than we need a town drunk right now. But I think Rayner's gonna have a harder time sobering up since we have to go back to Tarsonis for our next level. Apparently, Minsk let the Zerg basically overwhelm the planet to allow him to win a war, but this has led to it being left basically a desolate ruin. However, the Dominion now has found some useful stuff in the ruins and has been using magna trains to ship it out. So we're gonna rob them. It's the Great Train Robbery. Though if we could just kindly get Sean Connery to come out of retirement and do something for this, that would be truly epic. And of course, it's not until the last train that we find exactly what we're looking for. It turns out that the Dominion has recovered an adjutant from the ruins. Basically Echo from Overwatch. They're basically supercomputers designed to help keep Terran colonies running smoothly. I do have to ask why they felt the need to make it a robot and female of all things, but whatever. It's safe to assume that if Minsk wanted this badly, it has to be important, but unfortunately, its brain is just scrambled enough not to be willing to give us the information we need. So we'll have to leave that for now. But we have to get back to our quest to find those pieces of that Xel'Naga artifact. Only to find that on the next planet we need to investigate, the sun has been supercharged and is now slowly cooking the planet in a hellstorm of fire and burning radiation. It's kind of cool. It forces you to make your way across the map as quickly as possible, and you're forced to go for more mobile units and take advantage of the Terrans' ability to uproot their buildings. All in all, a nice level to show off a very cool aspect of this particular faction. But when we get back to the ship, it's out of the fire and into the frying pan. The Protoss have arrived on the planet that Dr. Hansen and her refugees have settled on in order to eradicate all of the humans living there since they have become infected with Zerg infestation once again. However, Dr. Hansen insists that she can find a cure for the infestation if she's given enough time. So it's time for our second branching choice. Do we help the Protoss put down the humans, or do we help Dr. Hansen and fight off the Protoss? I'm seriously starting to think I'm going to have to side with the Protoss since Dr. Hansen's record so far has been really, really bad. Not do. Put 'em down, we will.
Thank you, friend Renault. We will clear the area to allow you to exterminate the infected.
Gun my get.
Seriously, Jim? You're gonna kill thousands of people rather than give me a chance to fix this? Fine, I'll go find a cure myself in the lab.
And while I can relate with Dr. Hansen's impulse, yeah, judging by the footage of what's happening to the planet down below, this situation is pretty thoroughly foobarred for the most part. So just like the last time we had to do this, we have to go through and clear out all of the Zerg. Unfortunately, this time they've brought in some flyers to provide air support. Fortunately, we have some of our own, in the form of Vikings. I personally really like the Viking. Not only did it give us an excuse to make an amazing joke, but it's also fun because they can transform between a walker mode and a ground assault mode. It gives them a lot of versatility. Not unlike real-life aircraft, like the B-22 Osprey. They're equipped with vertical takeoff and landing systems, meaning that you can fly them like a plane when they're in the air, but they can land like a helicopter. It's always kind of cool when sci-fi isn't nearly as crazy as you think it is. But at any rate, we are technically able to come in and deal with a bunch of the Zerg before they have a chance to infect some of the uninfected humans on the planet. So I guess we're able to do some good, but it is still kind of horrific. After slaughtering thousands of infected humans and Zerg hybrids, we end up getting a message from the ship telling us that things are not good with Dr. Hansen. And in what is a very good homage to classic horror movies, Raynor goes to look for Hansen in the laboratory, only for it to become apparent that the situation up on the ship is just as bad as down on the planet. No ho. Drink after need I will. I kind of enjoy this bit here where it seems that Hansen's been using the mind crystal that Zeratul left behind. One has to wonder if she saw the same horrific visions of the future that he did. Not that she's much of a looker anymore either, really. Will you enjoy it, Raynor? Will you enjoy killing me just like you killed all of those women and children? You're sick, Hansen, and around through your head is a cure. Drop dead! Like that, we game end Dr. Hansen forever.
Mr. Raynor, your drinking problem is getting outrageous. Even the spirits grow concerned.
Enough reasons haven't I got to drink yet already.
I'm not arguing with you on that one. I'm just saying, you did a good thing. Those people could have gone to the core worlds, and then the infestation would have spread like a gene-stealer cult. Seriously, this is a good thing. Developers don't want you to be guilty.
Nah, that's too depressing. Pardon my northern clatch again, but let's be big damn heroes instead.
You can't take the sky from me.
Right, Doc is. Hope always be forthcoming. Get gone, get go.
I see. This is the human condition called drunken stupidness. Very well. Our forces will meet yours in the air. Farewell, friend Renault.
Thank you, Jim. I know that my people and I have been through a lot, but they don't deserve this. Thank you for helping us.
So in this go-around, we have to blow up some Protoss energy stations that they've apparently built on this planet in the matter of 10 seconds that are allowing them to power up a super destroyer mothership thing. And yeah, I think the Protoss may or may not have been the aliens in Independence Day. But with a little bit of work, we're able to take out the power relays, keeping the mothership safe, and then it's on to fighting the mothership itself. And this is kind of cool since we got to use one of these in the Protoss campaign, but now we're on the opposite side of this equation. But much like in that campaign, it goes down pretty easy. And with the super mothership destroyed, the Protoss retreat and admit defeat.
Go sure you must?
Yes, Jim, I have to get back to my people. We're starting our whole lives over again. On the other hand, you could come with us. We could use someone like you as a colony administrator or a husband.
Awful at that I'd definitely be. Better you deserve than me. Mwah.
See you around, Jim.
Oh, hell, I may just have to give up drinking. Round see you, Doc.